In this video, I will show you how to create your file for document setup for your business card. So this is when you open InDesign, you will see this screen and you have all sorts of different options for documents. You want to make sure that you go to print and that you set this up as a print document. When you use the right settings, InDesign also makes sure on the panel here that it plugs in the correct information for your document. So we're going to go to print and then over on inches, so we can turn facing pages off because we don't need that. On inches, we want to go 3.5. And we want to say 2 inches. And if you want a vertical card, you do vertical. If you want horizontal, click landscape. Pages. So if you want, for example, a front and back card, tell it 2 pages. Columns and gutters, I'm going to just leave that just as 1 column. And then with your margins, minimum of 1/4 inch. So you can set this to 0.25. And because this is locked, you'll notice make all settings the same. It changes your top, bottom, and right margin. For the bleed, I'll talk to you about bleed visually when we create the document, but we want to make sure that we also have 1/4 inch bleed. And again, because the lock's on, it changes all of them. Okay, so we're going to go to create, and InDesign is going to create our business card for us. So if you go to pages, okay, I see the front and there would be the back of my card. So talking about the bleed, so what you're looking at, the white area is actually your card itself. And when you add a bleed to something, so when you send something to a printer, if you have, for example, I'm going to add some color here. If you, for example, say I'm going to have maybe this side, I've got this lovely colored rectangle. And I want this, so the bleed essentially means it's actually the color's going to bleed off the page. So when I hit my preview mode, this is what my card after it's printed, cut, and trim would actually look like. So the bleed refers to when I cut this, the color is actually going to bleed to the edge, okay? So this bleed line, whenever they come in, you want to make sure that you have whatever is meant to bleed extends to that bleed line, because that's going to make sure that you don't get something at the end. Maybe you didn't set your bleed up right. You don't get something that looks like this, right? You want to make sure that this goes all the way to the end, okay? So that is how to set up your document. You'll always make sure as well, if you ever need to modify anything, you can go to File, Document Setup, and you can quickly change those things. So when we set up a print document, that puts us in CMYK color space. So that is that 4-color color space for standard offset printing. So it's very important that we need it in CMYK. Okay, so that is just a quick how to set up a document, in particularly a business card.